How did life begin? This question has been asked by humans for thousands of years, and although we still don't have all the answers, we do know quite a bit more about the origins of life on Earth than we did just 100 years ago. What would life be like if we went back in time to 2.8 million years ago? What was happening on Earth before we became human? Let's find out. 2.8 million years ago, the world looked very different than it does today. The continents were in slightly different positions, but that's not what we're talking about today. There were also some pretty big animals roaming around, such as the jaguar. This animal is an extinct species of ape that lived in Africa and Asia. They are believed to have lived in these areas between 2 million and 100,000 years ago. That's a huge gap of time, but this particular species is believed to have gone extinct around 100,000 years ago. They were massive, growing up to 8 feet tall and weighing over 600 pounds. That's much larger than any other primate species alive today. Imagine seeing one of those bad boys walking towards you in the forest. You'd probably run away pretty fast. Now, this isn't the only large animal from that time period. The Paranthropus robustus was also alive during this time. This species is an extinct genus of the family Hominidae. It's believed that they were a very strong species with a massive jaw and thick skull. These creatures were most likely scavengers, but their strong jaws and teeth could have also been used for crushing bones. Some scientists believe that they may have used tools. The Paranthropus robustus lived in Africa between 2 million and 1.2 million years ago. Speaking of humans, 2.8 million years ago was right around the time when the genus Homo appeared. The Homo habilis is the earliest known member of our genus. They had much larger brains than the Australopithecines, which were the dominant hominins before them. This allowed them to use tools in more sophisticated ways, control fire, make weapons, and so much more. Our ancestors were definitely getting smarter. This was also the time period when the first Homo erectus appeared. He was the first human to walk upright, and he lived between 1.8 million and 117,000 years ago. Homo erectus had a much larger brain and smaller face than the Homo habilis. They were also the first hominins to leave Africa. But it wasn't just humans and apes everywhere. The stegodon was also alive at this time. These were an extremely long-lived species of mammal that lived throughout Africa, Europe, Asia, and Australia. The fossil record shows that they lived between 2.6 million and 11,700 years ago. They are similar to modern-day elephants, but there are some differences. The most obvious is that they have tusks that curve backwards. These mammals are most closely related to the modern-day manatee. So even though they look like elephants, they're actually more closely related to these giant sea creatures. The world was very different to 0.8 million years ago. There were no trees or plants that we would recognize today. Since most of the plant species had not yet evolved, everything was very unfamiliar. The Earth was also much warmer during this time. There were no ice caps at the North Pole, and the climate was more like today. In conclusion, 2.8 million years ago was a very interesting time in history. There were many different types of plants and animals that roamed the Earth during this time. Some of them were very similar to what we have today, while others were completely unique. Who knows what other creatures and plants may have existed during this time, but we just haven't found the fossils yet. Maybe one day we will find a new species that completely changes the way we understand the history of life on Earth. What would you like to see? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.